More keeps coming to light in the Tammy and Matt saga, and rumors are still swirling in Paradise. Megan Pistetto of So Dramatic is worried for Tammy Hembrow's future plans to marry Zukowski because she doesn't think Hembrow really knows who he is, and she spilled all the tea with us. Starting off strong with the fact that he auditioned for Love Island UK when he and Jen were living together and strung her along for weeks to keep her as a backup in case he didn't get on. It's said that his podcast co-host Anna knew the whole time and even helped Matt out in this string of lies, as well as the producer of Love Island UK. Supposedly this was all a ploy just for him to gain fame from the show and promote his and Anna's podcast, but ultimately it ended up being the demise of his relationship. Jen eventually found out everything, even going through his phone and seeing all the horrible things he had been saying and doing behind her back, resulting in kicking Matt out at 2 a.m. Jen claims Matt was a massive narcissist amongst other things throughout the relationship, even threatening to sue her if she ever exposes him. Jen and Matt ended up trying to make their relationship work again, but there was overlap with Tammy Hembrow, and here's what sources reveal.
Another friend also confirmed that Matt and Jen were definitely back together and still together in August when he started dating Tammy. They dished. Matt took Jen to the Botanical Gardens in late August, which is where they first met. He recreated their first date and bought her flowers. It was very cute and romantic. Then, just 5 days after that, he was official with Tammy. A week prior to the video of Matt and Tammy coming out, Matt had even taken Jen to a hotel for her birthday. This was on the 19th of August. They stayed at the hotel on the 20th, but Tammy posted on the 19th of August this year that it was their 1-year anniversary. Mind you, Jen paid for the hotel for her birthday because Matt never had any money and expected her to pay for everything. And I'm sensing a bit of a theme here. Now, this is interesting. Like I said, on the 19th of August this year, Tammy posted that her and Matt were celebrating their 1-year anniversary. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that there was definitely a crossover. I barely remember Year 12 maths, and even I can figure that one out. The Insider continued, Jen actually posted a TikTok on the 24th of August from this romantic weekend away with Matt. When the video of him and Tammy on a date came out, Matt was 100% still with Jen. That same week, they had been hanging out together and sleeping with each other. They were in the process of figuring out what they were and were talking about announcing they were officially back together when that video dropped. Ay, ay, ay. Now for context, that video of Tammy and Matt was published in September 2023. But according to Tammy's Instagram anniversary post, her and Matt actually went official on the 19th. And going back to our source info and our timeline that we're piecing together here, the next night on the 20th, he took Jen to a hotel and dinner for her birthday, where I'm told they had sex, which is actually quite messed up. So how did Jen find out that Matt was dating Tammy? Well, to add further insult to injury, she found out when the rest of us did. One of Jen's friends explains, Jen was at a family dinner when the video of Matt and Tammy came out. A friend sent it to her. She was absolutely shocked, mind blown, and understandably extremely hurt and upset. She didn't even know Matt was in Queensland at the time. That was until the videos of him kissing Tammy came out outside that hotel. Jen tried calling him, but he wouldn't answer her calls. After about 20 missed calls from her, he finally answered and she confronted him about it. She asked him if it was him in the video because it wasn't clear or confirmed at the time that it was him, but he wouldn't give her a straight answer. Jen put him on speaker and her friend was there, and she witnessed how much of a manipulative monster he was. He eventually replied to her saying, well, I'm technically single. However, at the time, they had been working on their relationship together for 7 months and were still sleeping together. Jen was understandably yelling at him and a sobbing mess. Matt said, let's speak about it tomorrow. I've just watched a movie and I'm quite zen. After being exposed for cheating on Jen with Tammy, Matt was still trying to get Jen to take him back. One friend of Jen's tells So Dramatic, ex-Love Islander Matt Zukowski, who recently posted to Tammy Hembrow, was calling and on the doorstep of his ex-girlfriend's house 4 weeks into dating Tammy, who he cheated on his ex with. So just to recap, Matt was still with Jen when he started dating Tammy, then tried to get back with Jen again when he was in a relationship with Tammy. Does Matt realize this isn't a game of checkers? Sounds like this guy needs a hobby that isn't just the gym and dating famous chicks. Now, a second friend also confirmed this to So Dramatic. They dished. About a month after Matt and Tammy went Instagram official, he returned to Melbourne after seeing Tammy on the Gold Coast. He was non-stop trying to contact Jen and even rocked up at her house a number of times begging her to take him back. Jen told him to leave her alone, never contact or come near her again. But Matt kept calling her and trying to win her back. The day he returned from seeing Tammy on the Gold Coast, Matt was calling Jen non-stop. It was so incessant that Jen even told friends that she was scared to go home in case he rocked up, so she stayed at work. Jen had blocked and deleted his number, but when he called, it still came through because when you delete someone's number, it removes the block, so his calls were still going through. A week later, Matt bumped into Jen's brother-in-law at the races. He told him that he'd been trying to call Jen, had rocked up to her house to speak to her and try to win her back, and told him that he still loves Jen, which is hugely disrespectful to Tammy considering he proposed to her just a month later. Wow. Jen only found out he rocked up to their house multiple times because he told her sister's fiancé. As late as October 2023, Matt was still trying to contact Jen and get back with her. Now for context, let's just go back to our timeline. Matt started dating Tammy in August, they went Instagram official in September, and he proposed to her in November. So the fact that he was still trying to contact Jen and win her back in October isn't exactly a good look, is it? Now, the friend also spilled some tea about what Matt was saying to his friends about Tammy at the time. They dished. Matt told his friends that he still loved Jen, but that dating Tammy would be huge for his career. He also told his friends that Tammy slid into his DMs, but if you listen to his podcast, Matt claims he slid into Tammy's DMs, which isn't true. Poor Tammy has been love-bombed and gaslit just like every other girl he's dated. I really feel sorry for her and think she needs to be warned about what she's getting herself into. It is not going to end well. Now, I asked this insider if Tammy knew Matt was still with Jen when they started dating, and they said they didn't think so. They explained, because Matt hid Jen from his socials for months before that, and he had done a podcast saying they had broken up, I think Tammy would have presumed he was single. It gets even worse. Another friend backed this up, telling So Dramatic. Matt saying he texted that girl for a mate is so funny. Jen also had girls DM her with receipts saying that Matt was speaking to them and inviting them back to houses after nights out when they were together. Whenever Jen would confront him and show him what these girls were saying, he would say that he was doing it for his friend who was interested. So the same excuse he used on Tammy. He hasn't changed at all. And yep, there are those spots again. They continued. He would also message girls who served him at clothing stores after they'd slid into his DMs and then brag about it to his mates, all while he was with Jen. Jen saw multiple messages from Matt sending pics of hot girls to his mates' group chat, saying he has started speaking to these girls and was heaps into them whilst he was still with Jen. It's so funny that he said on his podcast that he's not that type of guy when he was busted sending texts to the woman behind Tammy's back, but if his past is anything to go by, he definitely is that type of guy. Now, I did reach out to Jen and put all of the allegations in this podcast to her, and while she didn't want to comment further, she did confirm that everything we have published in this episode from our sources is 100% accurate. I also reached out to Matt, Tammy, and Anna for comment on these allegations in this episode, and at the time of recording, Tammy and Matt had not responded, but Anna did. So I said to Anna, I've just been sent some claims from a source that Matt was still with his girlfriend Jen up until when he started dating Tammy and was trying to get back with Jen when he was official with Tammy, and that you were aware of this and helped him cover it up. And that he also applied for Love Island UK when he was with Jen and that you knew about it. Also claims that you bullied Jen when she was with Matt. Now, Anna replied saying that's categorically untrue. Matt and Jen were broken up before Tammy and Matt got together. I definitely didn't bully Jen. We had a good relationship whilst they were dating. Now, it was interesting that she didn't address the claims that Matt had applied for Love Island UK when he was with Jen and that Anna knew about it. So I messaged her again saying, okay, thank you. Did you know he was applying for Love Island whilst he was still with Jen behind her back? And Anna didn't respond to that message, which was kind of interesting given that she pretty much replied to my initial message immediately, but then my second message did not get a response.
So much has come to light just from this podcast episode alone, and Matt isn't looking to grade. I highly recommend listening to the full episode, but we'll keep you updated in the meantime, of course.